Coming up on Ascent, and we're going straight into the Prime Gaming Agent Select as well. Now, GAMBIT, they stick to a very, very tried and tested team composition.
I feel changes coming in.
You feel changes
coming?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel changes, you know.
Well, here's where 26 times they played the same team composition here. Of course, everybody is going to be keeping an eye out for the KO on the side of Steel. This is where it's either, you know, some people think there's a change straight away there. Shados has moved over to the Sky. This is the first time they play Sky on this map in a while.
Yeah, but I feel like it's the right thing. We have to have Nats on side. For one thing that we need to mention about this Ascent, if they are on the defense, no matter what side Nats is going to be in, you're not getting in there. I knew it. I knew it. I just knew it. We've been seeing it for every single EMEA team. The transition into the Astra. Probably they're testing it here, but it's given its results. And Redgar is, he's very familiar with her.
And it's really funny to see the dichotomy here because NA goes for Omen, EU goes for Astra, and we do get the steal on KO pick. And this is very interesting because I think a theory that people are having for this game specifically, I'll call out the Plot Chat boys, was KO against Nats, right? That knife, if it can get into position against Nats, he's no longer allowed to use his cages, which could be a massive, massive advantage if they can find ways to get that off.
Well, this is a huge game. It will be great for both teams to get an advantage on this map, but that's enough of us. For now, I'm going to pass it over to Doug and Riv. Otherwise, known as Rug.
Rug is not going away anytime soon.
Nope.
I do not believe, but thank you so much, Sue. Riv, #1 EMEA, #2 North America, a playoff bracket spot on the line. What more could you possibly want?
I want changes in the compositions, and GAMBIT gave it to us. You know, Steel's going to be doing his homework, trying to figure out what they would run. Now they got some variables to look at already. I love the changes to start. This is going to be a tough game where both teams are going to have to show some different looks. You can't just glide on by through this one. There's going to be a lot of pressure each round, and we're going to see it starting right here, Doug. I am super stoked to see GAMBIT up against 100 Thieves.
I like what you did there too. Glide on by. Sky is in the composition now.
We're
you know,
in there.
We're
in there. Yeah, so
I like what you're cooking up.
To look at that a little bit, Redgar and Shados both switching off some common plays for them of the Omen, of the Sage here on Ascent for GAMBIT. That's Shados that would have been on Sage as well. And now we see their first strat is going to be nice, spread out, spikes left out in the back of their spawn, so they can look to commit to anything here on the side of GAMBIT.
Yeah, and if there's one thing you know about GAMBIT, it's that they like to play slow. They like to play very methodically. I don't know that we're going to see anything hot and spicy, although 100 Thieves are trying to apply a little bit of that pressure on B side. Ascend drops, Ethan's down to 13 health, so the initial trade goes in favor of GAMBIT.
And beautiful utility by Nats, the Astra Stars as well, over by a main, which has given them all the knowledge that they don't have to go back, check anything behind them. Moving forward is all they have to look at. And Defo is going to be able to find another one as Ethan pops out with a wide swing. And 2 more members of 100 Thieves there to see what they can do and see what's in mid.
Ooh, Shados, you're going to be able to dodge a nade, but you can't dodge that shock dart. Pops him right in the face, down to 10 health as the fight for the middle of the map continues. Excellent paranoia, but again, there's nothing off of that, right? Steel drops. Hiko has to reposition.
Doug, GAMBIT hasn't even pushed to a site yet. They are just finding 100 Thieves, peeking everywhere they can. Now finally committing towards A. After they know long is clear, they're going to send the spike there to be safe, but they don't even have to do this yet. They can still mill about. They have full control of the map and pistol.
Hiko's going to drop as well. Nitro's left alone early on. The nice thing for him is that all members of GAMBIT are weak. Yeah. But this would be a pretty tall order. He's got nothing but a classic as well. Well, he's already gotten 2. He's got 3 on the round, 17 health. He's going to have to reposition things just a tad as the spike continues to tick away. They see him drop down. Not able to, well, was able to isolate the gunfight, not able to land the shots. Redguard cleans him up. GAMBIT get the pistol.
A little sketchy towards the end there. I think GAMBIT losing a little bit more than they wanted as kind of 100 Thieves knew what angles they needed. We can see they can make the shots, but beautiful distribution of agency across the map to start off for GAMBIT. Never really taking one fight. Nice shots by Redgar over towards B. Then they were able to work mid, finally ending A, just bringing it right across the horn to see what 100 Thieves had for the first round.
And I think we're going to see a lot of that, right? A little touch and go, feel things out again. They like to play slowly. They like to wait and see if the opposing team is going to apply a bit of pressure and then them react off of that. And that's been the tried and true method. It's worked so well for them. Nitro's going to drop. Ethan's able to trade Defo out, however, as the Marshall gets cleaned up. Doesn't look like it's going to get picked up as they just walk into Nats. Nats able to get 2. Hiko gets that back. Asuna gets a weapon upgrade as well as the spike has gone into A and it's going to go in for free.
Good damage from 100 Thieves, but Gambit do come out on top. That whole role is to grab a gun, find a Spectre, be able to walk away with one. And while Asuna does have one of his own, it may be tough for them to get this round in their favor without collecting a few more weapons and having a few more members. It's 3v2 though. Hiko and Asuna, a clutch in the works.
Oh, Redgar waiting for the flank. Asuna just on the other side of that box as that Hiko's joined the action as well. Redgar's going to spot him. Redgar's able to clean him up, drops things down to a 3v1. Hiko has got the Marshall. Redgar's just going after him, though. They're all going after him, though. They're hunting him down. Hiko's not able to get anything. Shadehouse cleans him up. Gambit holds serve. Now 100 Thieves are at a place where they can respond.
All right. Now, how can Gambit work this bonus? And will 100 Thieves be able to start chipping away at this economy built up? You see everybody getting some frags in here, which means ult points are coming around. It's good to see on deck for Nats. If they get an early kill, that Cypher ultimate is so much more advantageous to have when you are finding every member of where 100 Thieves would be. But I think this one, again, Doug, as you said, will be slow. Now that 100 Thieves has weapons, I can't see Gambit rushing into a site. They want to pull a little bit of utility out of this side.
It's going to be a hot heading towards
Crow, baby.
Yeah, we talked about them going slow, but this time they've dialed up. They've dialed up the speed. They've dialed up the pressure, and they've gotten some progress. Nats was able to take out Seal, but Asuna trading it out. Hiko looking to hold things down on the back of the site as Defo's going to fall as well. Nitro and Hiko seem to be doing just fine. But what can Shados do? He's going to have to challenge Hiko. The Tracer's giving away Hiko's position down to certainly low health, and it's a classic who wins the round for 100 Thieves. They're on the board.
Putting out the dance floor for the bonus. And I thought it would be that. You know, Gambit's good at getting behind each other, running those strats, but the slow get the utility out of 100 Thieves, I think, would have been the advantageous round there. We know 100 Thieves can act fast. They usually are kind of stacking a site with one leaner. Here it was towards B, leading towards that side, and Steel says, bring me more. Bring me more, baby. Great round by 100 Thieves to stop the bonus, but it's not too much sweat off of Gambit's back as they're right back into a gun round here, into round 4.
Right, and this is, again, much like the story of these two teams, this is the first round where we're going to see good against good, right? Full rifles on both sides. How are things going to pan out? Defo tries going aggressive, tries to take the high ground across the middle of the map. Asuna yanks him right back down.
3 towards A this side, so they're switching where they're putting the priority on the defensive side of 100 Thieves. And again, Spike being dropped by Gambit. The slow play, the read, trying to find with utility here. Towards mid, they're always putting somebody up towards bench. I love that. They get close, maybe some audio can be heard. And we do see that 2 agents get hit by 0 point there for Steel, so the knowledge is had.
But remember, Riv, this is very similar to what we saw them do the other day against Havan Liberty. They'll give up the middle of the map, and Havan Liberty was able to work their way up, but they weren't able to punish them. It's on Gambit to be able to make something happen out of that real estate. Then, all right, so he knows Nats is there. He's got some util at the flash, the swing, the kill delivered. Ethan takes care of Nats. Now they have established control once again of Tree.
5v2 coming into this one, a little low on Nitro, but Asuna still going for that flank around the outside. Remember, coming from this flank, that A main area is where Nats had his camera, had his utility. So now that Asuna has seen that utility at A, if he sees it again without anyone there, he can infer it's being played to the other side of the map. So big info grabbed by Asuna for that push through A for further rounds.
And as the round went on, Redgar somehow finds himself on the opposite, deep in defender spawn. The spike is nowhere near him, so clock's going to expire. We hope the Redgar's able to save the Vandal, carry it on into the next round, but 100 Thieves are going to be able to tie things up. And again, I know I mentioned it in this round, Riff, but I think the thing we have to keep an eye on is the middle of the map. Are Gambit able to punish the fact that 100 Thieves continue to leave that alone?
They wanted to pressure even being found out on that play, right? They're saying, okay, what do you do with that 0 point knowledge? How do you move towards Cat? And it was kind of everyone else pinched around them towards Cat. That aggression towards Cat never came from Steel, never came from anybody else. So I think the read and playing into the read is all 100 Thieves wants to do right now.
Get out of my way.
All right, so here we've got Gambit on a lighter buy. Redgar being the exception. Defo doing the same thing he did previously, right? Tries to go up top, has a Blade Storm, and this time not punished by Asuna. They're able to get across the middle of the map, but Asuna going hunting. He spotted Nats. The flash was there. It was beautiful as Nats gets cleaned up.
Little assistance from the Sky Flash. They get themselves out of the A main area. And a beautiful push by Defo here, Doug. This is the Blade Storm out. This could literally separate everything 100 Thieves has worked on so far this round.
Man, they just react so well. But Defo wins out with the Blade Storm, goes up top. Not going to spot anyone there. But they've gotten back behind enemy lines. The thing is, 100 Thieves, they've rotated down. And we've got a little flip of the map, right? Now they're the ones that are flanking Gambit as they work towards B Garage. The drone is going to clear things out. But again, thank you to the observers, Paul pointing that out. Steel and Ethan are playing a little ring around the rosy. One drops, the second one's there. They've got him tagged. And they've got nothing but a Sheriff. Yeah, there's nothing doing there. The spike's going to drop. Defo still has that Blade Storm, but he doesn't have the spike. He finds himself in a 1v4.
Oh, reset.
Make that a 1v3. 30 seconds left.
30 seconds.
Reset.
Okay, make that a 1v2. Defo manages to pick up the spike as well. Understands Hiko's there. Ethan's going in there as well. He goes into aggressive. Defo good for 4. Looking to work the ace with the Blade Storm. Hiko. He's got a util. Defo does it. My goodness, the ace to kick off the series for Gambit.
Absolutely absurd. Never should have been allowed to happen. And Defo is just on point. The pixel shots previously on Bind with the Operator, the full resets to bring the ace in with the Blade Storm. That's an absolute mental crusher for the side of 100 Thieves.
I mean, I guess like the one benefit, right, if you're going to call a silver lining, is that it's early, right? There's time to move off of that, but a gorgeous ace by Defo. And again, for 100 Thieves, like they were playing off of each other's flashes. They were trying to play through things as best as they could, but took a little magic. Defo was able to clean things up. Now, both teams back on full rifles, no op on the board.
Absolutely incredible what we've seen Gambit do just in 5 rounds here. What's going to happen for the rest? 100 Thieves now taking a little more space than usual as they move up. Now they tend to aggress. Ethan and Asuna coming up big.
It was beautiful. It was a play. They've got Seekers now that have followed up as well, but the paranoia swinging off of that, they were able to establish mid-map control, even cleaning up the player that was down in Sub Rosa off of the peak from Top Cat and from Arch. There was just so much pressure applied there in the middle at that moment. Gambit had no way to respond. Now Nats is in a 1v5. Again, surely not a little deja vu. Hiko stops the shenanigans this time around, cleans him up. We're tied up at 3 apiece.
If he didn't have his hat on, it probably would have been a lot easier. Cypher, no hat, impossible to shoot. Purple Reyna, impossible. But no, it's going to be a round for round. Punch for punch, it seems like. Even with fantastic rounds, you'll have team rounds after that. So I feel like we're going to get a lot of highlight, all-star plays, team rounds coming in throughout this one. And I hope we go all the way to 3 maps because I am already loving this. We are into your 7th round. It's going to be some Sheriffs. Do have that Phantom on the side of Gambit for Defo. We'll see if they can work that into a few more pickups on the side of 100 Thieves.
Now it's Asuna who's going to be bringing his Blade Storm into the fold. See if he has, at least, I mean, even a fraction of the same success that was had before him. No, okay, he was able to get one, but the flash, the utility, the heavy pressure mid, he ended up getting traded out. So 4's across the way. The Cosmic Divide comes out as the fight ensues across the middle of the map. Chronicle's going to drop Nitro. Playing just around the smoke. He's got 2 players from Gambit there. But is he going to face check it? Yes, he is. Good for 1. The play comes in from the middle of the map as well. Apply pressure. Same side at the exact same time. Beautiful execution by 100 Thieves.
See if this is the final one. Almost a right click from Redgar as they go down there on their save. Asuna going down very quick, uncharacteristically. Gambit was there, ready to know they could create pressure in mid. It was a nice job to drop the Blade Storm as fast as possible on that one. Still, 100 Thieves come up with the round as they change up the gameplay, get a little bit more aggressive on these guns, and then not give so much respect on the eco rounds because Gambit will sweep the rug right out from under you any which way.
Sweep out the rug?
Sweep the rug.
You went there?
Yeah, I did.
With our name, that's unbelievable. You think you know a guy. 4 seconds before the round starts. Again, rifles across the board. Asuna has that op in hand. Defo's going to be matching across the way. And I don't know that we're going to see much of an op duel. As you see, Asuna is going to be checking out tiles. Defo working the middle of the map as best as he can. There was a little bit of information gathered towards A, but nothing quite yet. Defo lands the first one onto Steel.
So really the first time Steel's been into market on that B side area. We usually see him on Cat, 0 points, able to figure out mid-round information. We won't get that this time. Nitro does have an ultimate to sweep across the map if they do need to start setting up 3 on A, but Gambit feel perfectly fine to stay and look for another peek. Defo's on fire. Let him heat up a little bit more.
I mean, that's their bread and butter, right?
Absolutely.
Like, let's wait. Let's see if we can spot anything, see if anyone plays aggressively. And again, as you said, you've got Defo who's warming up, who's certainly feeling himself. Give him an opportunity to shine, make that bad boy sing. He's had some success so far. Nitro grabbing info, right? So there's nothing going down A long. But the thing is, like with GAMBIT, because of their play style, you can do that with 10 seconds left in the round and you still may not get enough info.
Omen smoke to Cat to slow things down if that were the play. Smoke's going down in mid as this is GAMBIT now trying to separate the map on 100 Thieves rotation. They're all getting on B now, and it's going to be a hard hit with 4.
Mid B split. Last time they did this, it was not successful. Can they have a better time as they go here again? You've got Asuna and Ethan who are both starting to show up, but can they hold fast in time? Nitro's already good for 2. Looking for the 3rd. No. Chronicle cleans him up.
I know exactly.
Leave things into 3v2. The Neural Theft is going to come out as well. Asuna with the op. The spike goes down. No challenge going to be coming through that cage quite yet. And there's a second one as well. Hunter's Fury onto Ethan. He's going to get tagged up. Surely, I mean, I guess they could go for it here, but you've got an op and you've got a rifle. Maybe you just play for exits. This is such a brutal spot for 100 Thieves as GAMBIT have like fully established control of the site. They're hunkered down in there. There's no way they're getting out. Right? Like, this is beautiful play from GAMBIT.
A really great job. So going in, I was like 4 strong on the site. They sent all 5 in. Every angle is being watched from highway to stairs. Now, can they make it out is the question. Palat from Asuna, of course, but Nats will find it out with his Phantom. Should be able to get out of this one. Good to go.
All right, so Rafe, talk to me about economy here, because we're finding ourselves in this spot where most rounds have been very costly for both teams, right? We haven't seen any clean sweeps. Rounds are being traded back and forth. Like, for in a situation like that, how valuable is it to at least have Nats save the Phantom?
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, as long as you see that Defo's still getting operators, you're fine. The Phantom can drop more. We'll see if the Phantom is dropped to somebody, which they're going to be purchasing here. But looking at that econ, what they've spent, how much they have left, that was the first round with 3,000 in the win going over to GAMBIT. So if they lose this, they're actually going to be back on a round where they're not buying too much. Spectre for Shados already, and Redguard.
Asuna again pushed off of that bench angle that we saw just a couple of rounds ago. Some decent info, right, with the knife. Ego using a Hunter's Fury, a little dance, a little jiggle, a little 2-step. Not able to land the kill. Fancy footwork keeps him alive, at least for the time being.
Wonder if Nats' weapon will be found out and grabbed here. Shados is rotating over. That may be what happens as they get a little more firepower onto Ascent. Spike being dropped here lets you know GAMBIT's going to play the slow roll, figure out where Steel might be, figure out where that rest of Ethan's utility might be that makes it a little difficult to get in the site. And there's a bit of a clue as they see Seekers coming out of A.
Yeah, but the Seeker didn't spot Defo. The Seeker didn't spot Defo, so he was able to get past that as the Seeker crossed him undetected. So there may be some unexpected pressure coming in from Tree onto Hiko and onto Steel. Okay, well, that's going to give him away now. The Seeker missed it. The knife does not, but it looks like they want to go towards A. Defo down to 62 health. Ethan's in a great spot, able to get 3. Defo left alone. You've got Chronicle towards wide, but Defo's good for 2. Chronicle got one on a Nitro as well. How is this round being flipped the other way? It's just Asuna in a 1v2. Asuna's got the op too. Spike not down yet. Asuna misses the shot. Chronicle does not, as he gets 3 and GAMBIT take the lead again.
Patient play. Shados walking back across the map to grab Nat's Phantom, making sure the round would go in their favor. All the little things they're doing here are so impressive to be able to route 100 Thieves. And after these shots come up, it does not phase GAMBIT. Defo's always ready to go, just absolutely out of his mind. He's like, I got to take this out, obviously, and still ready for the play to come through from Chronicle.
I know it's early, Riv. I know it's early, but there were questions around how Defo would perform. Like, can he compete with Asuna? Can he do well at this stage? And the guy seems entirely unfazed right now. An excellent start. But 100 Thieves, again, find themselves in a spot where they can still buy. Right? Like, financially, as much as things have gone back and forth, you haven't really seen them in a dire situation.
Those rounds they were able to mount after the bonus, something they kept in the bank account. And they haven't had to use too much utility per round if it's just been firefight. So that has helped. Defo comes up big again, Doug.
The cloud burst, the flash, and the swing off of that. Defo takes space away. They know Nitro's down there. He's going to get cleaned up, not without Nitro taking Nats along the way. But GAMBIT, well, I hesitate to say GAMBIT because it's Defo who's gotten onto the site. Defo has control. The rest of GAMBIT is just now arriving to the party. The spike should be able to go down. What sort of a retake attempt do we have out of 100 Thieves?
Look at this Defo, the man who's usually hiding in the shadows, an operator right in your face. He actually gets the ult sorted out, back to the op, not in the spot he wants to be. Could the 0 point be the play?
Oh, up close and personal. Steel's able to get it, but Redguard's able to trade him back. Steel left alone in a 1v2. Wow. Steel gets cleaned up as well. GAMBIT are winning crucial gunfights, Riv. Like these close hairline on knife's edge fights, they're all going GAMBIT's way.
And it does seem like a few of these rounds now favoring towards A. The way Chronicle has been able to hold Sova Dart, Sova Util from A main. There's comfortability in this for GAMBIT. We may not see them continuously do it. That's how you get stopped in your strat, but that one seems like a bread and butter for them. They set up so well after they plan on A, and 100 Thieves is left getting shot on hard angles.
And now we find 100 Thieves with pistols. And even then, as it seems like we've got a timeout going down, take this opportunity to regain. You've got Nitro and Steel, who both may be rocking Marshals, but the rest of the way it is just pistols. And I mean, again, Riv, for his back and forth as things have gone, this is a bit concerning, especially when you consider when it comes to sides, this is GAMBIT's weaker side, and it's by a long shot.
It just looks comfortable. You know, it seems like you always say this, they've done their homework, but you have to feel, it doesn't matter what homework you've done, you have to feel how your opposing team is playing that day. Is Asuna on those peaks? You know, is Ethan on those peaks? You're figuring out and reading the way 100 Thieves is playing, as you see chatter going on with the coach right now. And they're using that from round to round. It does look like they're able to dissect a little bit of what 100 Thieves is defending, whether that goes towards mid, whether that goes towards A, and the rounds they've gone late towards B from the side of GAMBIT's attack.
And I think that's what's concerning, right? So, like, they are sitting very comfortably. I think given how back and forth this has gone, this already almost feels like a win of a half for GAMBIT, because for sure, when you pop over to their defensive half, that's a 72% win rate.
That's scary.
That's terrifying.
Absolutely scary. And this is kind of that new look. Obviously, Redguard knowing Astra, Shadow's playing the Sky, but in this competitive setting right now, internationally, they are bringing this composition out and playing it very nicely. See what they have for the rest of this round. Looks like Ethan and Asuna do want to be able to grab some ground here, and most of 100 Thieves towards A side.
Right, but when you feel all of this pressure towards A, okay, so it looks like they are going to reset. The thing about GAMBIT is they didn't pull off, right? Like, they felt that pressure towards A, they felt that pressure from long. They did not instantly, like, all right, if they're going to come at us A, let's go ahead and flip the map and go B. Very patient, very calm, and as you see, like, 100 Thieves are expecting that, right? They applied pressure A, instantly went back towards B. GAMBIT didn't take the bait.
Always spread out across the map. GAMBIT doing a nice job of not letting themselves get taken out dry. They're always using utility here. Defo on your screen has been huge. Nats during the stage 3 was somebody you could always look at to have a clutch. One of the top players for this squad. You can always rely on him to do something big. Him and Defo are going to be the forefront of this execution.
And there's nobody home, right? Like, I think at this point, the difficult thing for 100 Thieves too is knowing GAMBIT's playstyle. The silence doesn't tell you anything. Right, like the silent, you can't really pick anything up off of that because that's their textbook approach every single round. Now the spike's going to go down towards A. Now they know where the play is, but they've got an excellent setup. You've got tripwires to make sure nobody comes around. Even if that somehow gets passed, you've got the camera to make sure A long is fully covered and there's nobody waiting in wine. They have presence towards that half of the map. You've also got the astral stars, making sure there's nobody that comes in from
gravity
like,
while there.
Yeah, exactly. They have an excellent setup here.
Cloudburst is in. GAMBIT knows the attack is hitting now from 100 Thieves. What can they do?
They're sitting ducks, Riv. Like, as soon as 3 pop out, the gravity well, it drops them dead in their spots. Steel's able to take one with him, but that may be all that happens as Nitro's left alone.
On the way out.
In this 1v4, it gets flashed up. The spike continuing to tick away. No additional well, actually, they may die to the spike.
Nah.
All right, they're going to get away just fine. No additional economy damage done, right? Nothing.
And it seems like it only took a bit for those few rounds to feel out how 100 Thieves was going to play that if they were going to be patient, which it does seem like 100 Thieves has trended towards those rounds. We saw them push out on Cat ones with Ethan, a few towards B, and that seemed to surprise GAMBIT, but not so much anymore. They don't want to find defos up. They're trying to let Asuna work. So again, the game slows down to see if that first operator pick comes through.
100 Thieves here looking to try to get to a 7-5. Haven't had very much success on this defensive half. They do have a couple of key ultimates, and Steel and Asuna are both 1 point away from getting theirs online, but the null command is not going to be a factor here. Steel drops. Asuna is able to trade one out, though, and he gets a Blade Storm.
It's Defo. They drop the other off. That's big. Ethan! A huge frag onto Nats. Always watching the flank there. They know they needed to remove him.
But it's too early. The Seekers are too early. You're not getting any information. You're not getting any value out of that. Yeah, you can pop it now, but you know they're just going to sit, right? Like, they're just going to pop a squat. They're not going to show anything, and then they'll adjust. There's just too much time in the round, in my opinion, to be investing in ultimate like that.
Another Seeker going towards spawn. That was followed by Redgars. He is real close now inside B by himself. And that's going to be a Boathouse Nitro. How big of a play is this?
Asuna and Nitro able to get one apiece. Shados in a 1v4. Excellent setup. Asuna goes up top. Shados yanks him down, but Hiko cleans things up. So, I mean, really, back and forth. The thing that's so hard for me is, for as close as the half is, right? A 7-5 half, that's great. That feels really good. It was competitive. It was close. What concerned me is what's on the other side of halftime, right?
Yeah.
GAMBIT's bread and butter, insanely high win rate on that half. Defensively, that's tough, Riv.
It absolutely is. They're going to know exactly Asuna's going to want to op. These guys are going to play it slow. It'll be Hiko darts for most of it and wait for the drone. So I think 100 Thieves is definitely going to have to spice it up here coming into the second half and to break through that barrier that GAMBIT puts on defense.
Well, and not even that, but also, like, how do you get past Defo? Right? Like, we talked about it in the first half. There were questions about how he'd be able to perform. The guy's been lights out. And we even thought, well, the first series was against Crazy Raccoon, you know, okay. Now it's against 100 Thieves. Can you compete?
Right.
Dude's been out of control.
And you have Shados, Chronicle as well, who can also frag like that. Everybody's coming online. So we actually may just get a more volatile second half from both teams. Now that, like, all right, this is how you play. There is a bit of a read that goes on in the first half. The nerves get shaken off. You're reading the way your opponent wants to play. And then it's the change, the paradigm shift on how you approach second half.
Excellent first half from both these teams. We're going to toss it over to Sean, outrageously good-looking Sean, to break down what he saw in the first half. Sean, take it away.
Thanks, Doug. So I really want to talk about how slow and methodical everything GAMBIT is doing, but I also wanted to include in a really cool thing that happened in the middle of this half. So at the start of the round, I'll set the scene right now. So at B, what you noticed was the Astra was playing super passively because she would go in astral form in this corner. And the reason why she's doing this is because Nats has put a tripwire right in front of her, and she has put a star right in front of that. So the plan seems to be where someone pushes B, they get right up to the trip, they'll probably shoot it or potentially walk into it, and this star would then turn into a gravity well or a stun, and she would get a free kill. Meanwhile, these two players are going to take control of mid. The Sova's going to help with an arrow from top. And Nats over here at A is going to cam the A main wall. And he has a trip very, very passively set up. The Astra Stars on mid serve as smokes. And then that pretty much sets everything up. Okay, so let's start playing the clip. And you heard Ethan just flashed into A main. And now Steel is lining up a flash for mid. And you can see Asuna has made his way to Catwalk, and he is playing off of this flash. So the second Asuna gets that frag, Steel flashes, they back off passively, and then you can see Ethan right away is going to start trailblazing the A main push. Steel is calming right now in the bottom of your screen. You can see he's furiously calming, and there's a trailblazer going right now, and Asuna is following it in A main. The next thing that happens is insane. I have yet to see this in a pro game. Steel throws the suppression blade into the wall. And let's pause it real quick. So you can see up here, when he throws that suppression blade, Asuna gets past Nat's trip. And I have yet to see this happen, but this was a super cool thing that happened early on in this game. And let's keep playing it now. And that's what's going to gift Asuna a frag that GAMBIT never expected. The teamwork from Nitro comes in. You saw the one-way smoke there coming into Catwalk. all the way from this B site by Hiko. And there's that free frag for Asuna. Hiko darts the mid wall right after. And let's stop here for a split second. So you can see right there, that was the frag that Asuna gets on Catwalk. He dashes away, backed by Steel, and he's going to end up repositioning. So we're going to get to watch it all over. And we can play right now. So Nitro has smoked mid, and he has left this B area to defend mid. When he hears the Trailblazer come through, he backs off, and there's his one-way that he's thrown on Catwalk. And now Gambit is in shambles. They're just spread out across the entire map. Austin is pinching from top mid, and the round is literally lost. But I just want to show you guys how difficult this was for 100 Thieves and why Gambit is such a strong team. You have to do a lot to find the first blood against them, and I don't know how 100 Thieves is going to continue this when they're on their attack half with the KO. So back to you, Ribbon Doug.
Thank you so much, Sean. Yeah, it really just has been impressive performance from both teams. And you're right, even when you do everything perfectly, like you saw 100 Thieves do in that play that Sean was breaking down, it has to be that if you're going to take something away from Gambit. So excellent first half from both teams. Now we're going to see how they do on their opposing halves. 100 Thieves going to start off on the attack. They find themselves down 2 rounds. And for Gambit, this is their bread and butter, man.
Gambit,
this is where they're good.
Gambit is ghost hunting right now. Look at this, 4 ghosts to start. You get tagged by a few of those, you're done. Yep. These angles are going to be hard held by Gambit. That's tough to get by, especially when you're trying to range with a classic. Hopefully they can hit their dinks for a little aim punch because they're going to need it.
2 seconds before the round starts. See how things kick off here as 100 Thieves. A little smoke towards mid. Nothing else going on quite yet. So for 100 Thieves, at least for now, it looks like they may be trying to draw up a little something out of Gambit's book, but this early pressure, Asuna, the flash was there, a little friendly fire. They were able to push that off, but Asuna's down to 25 health, and Ethan's already dropped.
My word. Nat's so fast with that. See? Hard angles. You cannot do much. If you're trying to classic through a wall, you're getting hit by with a ghost. They're going to start getting back. It doesn't look like they'll be able to get too much more positioning off of that. They're happy with what happened in mid lane on the side of Gambit, and they're just going to hold those positions. 3 strong. Good luck getting through that crossfire if anything were ever to try. And I think it's going to be an NB execute, but I don't believe 100 Thieves are going to try too much.
No,
together.
Yeah, I know. I think the tricky thing, too, is you've got so much presence mid on the side of Gambit that even if you do make your presence known towards B coming out of Garage, like there's just easy help there very quickly. Yeah. So you kind of have to flip it. The nice thing for them is you still have 35 seconds. You can readjust. It looks like they're leaning back towards A. Gambit are furiously trying to get back quickly to help out. So this should at least be a spike plan for 100 Thieves.
Checking everything. They're like, there may still be a rat. There may still be a rat. This is already impressive that they're able to make it across the map. A bit of extra money in the hands now of 100 Thieves as they're looking to hold strong. All of them in the site. This could make it tough. And you can see Gambit saying, where's the flank? Where's it coming from?
To their surprise, Steel is posted up on the site. Not going to be sniffing anything out this time around. And the approach is going to come in from up heaven and from tree. Steel's already been cleaned up. Hiko's trying to play down in hell. And it's going to have to be some hell of a heroic play to make this happen. And that might be exactly what it was. Hiko was able to get 2, but Nats is 3 kills on the round. Get them the defuse. Gambit win the pistol.
Expected. Ghost hunting, going out. Going to be able to take that one down. It did seem like it was just kind of overpowered for Gambit to be running in. Knowing there was no flank, all the focus is in sight. It's whatever is in front of you. And here, things like this, pop instantly. It's going to be more effective when you're going out with the ghost there. And they just use their firepower to take it down. Great try by 100 Thieves to capitalize. And decent damage done. It's going to be those Spectres in. Ethan and Asuna. Okay. They want to try to get some spice in the mix here.
Buy up a little bit for Gambit. You've got the Marshal in the hands of Defo, makes sense. Lighter weapons the rest of the way. Bit of a heavy lean towards B from Gambit as Defo's looking to take some of that early space away. I love that. Don't let the Ultor be farmed. Don't let that space taken away for Gambit. They cannot give up an inch.
Make a little noise. some steppies. He's like, sure, get somebody to peek. So they're playing a little audio warfare there. No one's going to bite with all those Astra stars set up. They're obviously going to be using the utility on the way in. But 100 Thieves, not as much, you know, feeling out the map to figure out what's going on, relying on each other's power and buddy system, which is not a problem. They're just looking to be able to trade off of these Spectres and make sure those Sheriffs can capitalize to pick one up.
And with a little under a minute left in the round, there's actually a ton of info that was just gathered by Chronicle using the drone to get back towards B, right? That allows Defo to swing out a bit further, and that calls the rotates instantly. Exactly, Riv. So they've given how things play out, they're able to pull towards A right into the gravity well that they had set up. You see a couple of members of 100 Thieves get cleaned up instantly as Nitro's left alone in this 1v4. So for Gambit, I think what's been just so impressive for me is their macro play, right? Like, they're reading the map so well, they're grabbing info that they need at just the right time, and they're acting on it, and it's paying off beautifully.
It's kind of interesting that 100 Thieves, you know, they'll see the stars as we finish this one up. Nitro's going to get a few for himself, but going down with that plethora of Gambit members coming in. They see the stars. I think they're starting to realize they can't trick Redguard. He is fast. He's ready. He's usually sitting in astral form, and he will get you caught just about every time. Again, they try to move in, and even Asuna gets sucked right back through after his dash forward. So it's getting real tough. They don't really have a safe spot to stand, and Gambit's making sure of it.
All right, but now we've got things getting like potentially worse, right? For 100 Thieves. They're on full pistols here because of their investment in some weaponry and in utility in the previous round. They're not able to, you know, typically they'd be buying full here, but they can't. They've only got pistols while Gambit's still riding that bonus, so it was a big gamble in the previous round, but this could really get out of hand for 100 Thieves. Defo's already good onto one. The Paranoia's going to drop him out, so he's going to have to back up just a bit. But for 100 Thieves, you feel things out, you back up. You have to understand here, A is not an option. A is not safe.
Doesn't seem like it at all. The A+ defense from Gambit holds that one down. Looks like Ascend and the team will reset, make sure any of the ground they have not checked yet is still safe to walk through. Shadows already just shutting down a walk forward that 100 Thieves had. They are meeting utility or a member of Gambit on every corner. Here's the drone as well. They are reading this.
Asuna with the spike towards A long, but the rest of 100 Thieves working their way in towards trees. So the flash was there. Nitro was able to get one, though. The dart's just giving so much away. They know everyone's there, and there might just be enough attention drawn this way, but no, Redguard cleaning things up. Chronicle drops, but that's really it, right? 3 still up for Gambit, and this is, we mentioned this may get out of hand. Riv, 100 Thieves, now they have rifles again, but they're already staring up a pretty significant deficit.
And it's kind of absurd how many reps Gambit has on their maps, the tournaments they play in. 24 plays since April 1st on Ascent, 22-2. That's kind of ridiculous. You're looking at 11-3 for 100 Thieves there. So the reps you have on this, the things you've seen, the things you're able to change and do, have so much more variety to them, and we're seeing that. Is even on the defensive side. Sean said it would be tough for 100 Thieves to kind of push forward with that KO, and we're seeing a bit of that struggle now.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right, Sean. As well, Nitro getting tagged up there. The shot from the Marshal through the smoke makes him a bit worse for wear. Yeah, he's going to get healed up at the hands of Ethan, but now doesn't have any armor to work with. So, like, Riv, Gambit already at 10. They're still riding a bonus. Right, like they're still riding the money train from the half. 100 Thieves are running out of windows to make this a competitive map very quickly.
For sure. The Econ won't be around very much longer, and Gambit will be able to just strangle out the last few rounds here. A little fake by Nitro as they play with the mid-smoke. Still gaining ground, but almost not in position to make trades off of each other. That's the rotation. That's why they're separating to go towards B now in a 2-3 split if Steel can find somebody on the flank.
Yeah, that's eye candy, though. Right, like that's what I like to call trickeration, right? Steel drawing a little bit of attention towards A because the rest of the hit, it's going to be a mid-B split, right? Look at how far up Nitro is. They're leaning towards B. The spike is still over there. The thing is, with 30 seconds left, I mean, maybe you can flip it, but actually, yeah, they're going right back. Look, it's a double pump fake, baby. And they're going back towards A.
They're going to get re-pinched in. The cam's in A. They still have stars to slow down what 100 Thieves would want to do getting in. This flank's going to be huge, Doug.
The timing! Shadow's good for 2. not able to get 3. Ethan cleans him up, and now you've only got 10 seconds left. This is going to be a scurry to get the spike down on the site. Asuna trying to get it down, and he does. A 3v4 in favor of GAMBIT. Nats gets cleaned up at the hands of Ethan. Remember, this is still a bonus, man. This is so labored for 100 Thieves. The Seekers is going to get some space, but with the wall there,
knock.
yeah, what do you got?
Slokes, the Seekers wear out. Door's not broken just yet. 100 Thieves trying to make this a tactical D, and GAMBIT's about to hit every point at once.
Wall pops out. Ethan gets it. Betas Defo tries to swing over, and he gets cleaned up. Defo's able to get one on to steal, and GAMBIT take another one.
Instantaneous attack on the site. 100 Thieves even had extra work to do there. They got in. They had to actually retreat out of the site. We saw Ethan taking back A main control. They had a great setup, but Doug, it did not matter. Brute force coming in from GAMBIT. Instant attack from all points. And this flank is so big because without seeing the sentinels we usually see, you have to check every angle you haven't been in for the past 15 seconds. Right. There, top A was not checked, and it was the bane of 100 Thieves round.
Yep, absolutely right. GAMBIT has just put up one hell of a performance in this opening map. You see 100 Thieves is taking a timeout here in the second half. A huge deficit. I mean, 6 rounds, and again, we take a look at economy, right? Just very briefly, Redgar's sitting on 6,800 credits, my man. Like, he can buy for everyone for a couple of rounds. He's going to be dishing it out left and right, buying rounds for everyone, and he's going to be everyone's favorite guy.
I mean, he's the in-game leader. He's like, look for me for anything you want. I'll be able to give it to you. And it's pretty cool as we talk about Redgar, because smokers allow him to be the controller, but also control the team. He has a lot of experience in FPSs. The guy is more than happy to go out and frag, but in that position of in-game leader, being able to oversee the map with smokes, control the angles your teammate is going to see as well. It gives Redgar such great control over what the team is going to be looking at when they get into the site. If you know you don't have to be watching a certain angle, you're absolutely maximizing your chances for that first confident shot to be a headshot or just on your side.
Yeah, Riv, and I think to your point, speaking of Redgar, like, we talk about how well he's read the map, right? In the first half, in the second half as well. Yeah, IGL for GAMBIT has just been calling so well on this map. You can tell 100 Thieves, like, every time they think they have a window or they can throw a little wrinkle into their plans, it's just sniffed out. It seems like GAMBIT know about what's going to happen to 20, 30 seconds before it actually does.
And we heard him coming into this tournament. You know, they have one idea. We have to win. And when asked, you know, is it for you, everybody? They go, we win for ourselves. We win for our fans, and then we win for the world, but we win for ourselves. And everybody's on board with that there, and they are playing as one hell of a team right now on their first map of Ascent here. As getting to the playoffs, they know this one means a lot.
Defo with the op. Flash not going to land, but my goodness, that shot is consistent. Ethan gets cleaned up. You hear the Hunter Fury coming out as well. Not going to... Okay, so he was able to get Redgar. But that seems to be it. Defo not able to land the shot up close and personal, but Shados was a little friendly help from the teammate there, bailing him out of a brutal situation. But Shados, my goodness, the guy is automatic. He's so damn good.
I would say it's not Nats, it's Shados. If it's not Defo, it's one of them. Nats now coming up with his frag, making that one tough for Nitro as they would have double peaked him anyways. 12-5. GAMBIT put it on game point here for Ascent. We'll see if they can take it, tried and true, right on through here. This second half has just been, as, you know, Shaz even said, wiping the floor. It seems like they're getting a pretty good clean out of it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Shaz hit the nail on the head, right? Like, this hasn't been close, right? And, like, statistically, as you mentioned, 24 reps on Ascent, yeah, they're going to feel pretty confident on it if you're GAMBIT, but it's not like this is a bad map for 100 Thieves.
That's absolutely true. 100 Thieves definitely have a good control over, I think, what is A in their A attack, and I should say B defense, as they would swap sides there. Shado still getting pressured, a 0-point hitting him as he goes out. That's going to be the command down as well, and Steel just gets dropped.
Dude, they can't get in. Like, you shall not pass. That's exactly what GAMBIT are calling out right now. There's been no window for them to work an absolutely dominant performance out of GAMBIT. They smack 100 Thieves around for 16 rounds or 18, whatever the heck it was. It was just brutal.
They felt good. I spoke to Redgar a little bit early, and he's like, I am ready to play. I'm already ready to play. Let's go. Let's get it.